Hi, it's Professor Brown with a short video on drafting. Now, to draft is to actually start writing your essay. You're writing in sentences, full sentences. You're not just jotting ideas down or listing ideas like in brainstorming. You're actually taking the information from the outline and starting to write your essay. It's called also narrative form, where you're actually writing full sentences and paragraphs. Now, what's really great is your 5-point outline. Your introduction is 1 paragraph. Your number 2 Roman numeral, everything under that is a 2nd paragraph. Your number 3 Roman numeral, everything under 3 is another paragraph. You see what's happening? And then for a paragraph conclusion, a paragraph, everything is outlined to know exactly where you're going to start and end your paragraphs. So let's talk about drafting the introduction. The introduction in your outline will have the hook, which is what you chose to start with. You grab the reader's attention. It will also have your thesis statement, right? And so all you have to do is put your hook down on your page, type it in, and then you can actually put your thesis statement in too, but then you have to write sentences in between the hook and the thesis. You have to get the reader from this really big, broad idea hook down to your very specific thesis statement. You'll add 2 sentences, 3 sentences, not more than that, that take your content and narrow it down, get the reader from the big idea, question, or statistic down to what you're actually writing about. There's a trick to it. It takes practice, but you're really only writing in that first paragraph 2 or 3 sentences that go between the hook and the thesis statement, right? Once you're done with the introduction, then you're going to write the 2nd paragraph out of Roman numeral 2. Now remember, the title of next to Roman numeral 2 is actually the keyword phrase that's in your blueprint, right? Or something with part of that in there. It matches. And you're going to take that information right next to Roman numeral 2 and make a full sentence. That becomes your point. It's when we were younger, we called it a topic sentence, right? But now it's the point or the claim. It's a full sentence that tells broadly what the whole paragraph is going to be about. This is the point. A full sentence, 1 sentence from next to Roman numeral 2. Underneath Roman numeral 2, you have the A, B, C, and so on, right? Those pieces you can just write in your paragraph using those ideas, write sentences of what you mean, how it supports your point. All of the A, B, C, Ds, those are the supports to your point. And so you're going to explain it. You're going to give examples. You're going to give the evidence. You're going to expound upon or tell about it, or have exposition, which is telling more, right? And that comes for A, B, C, Ds. And those are full sentences, and you put them in order. You might take an A and a B and put it together for a full sentence, or each A, B, C, D might be its own sentence. Doesn't matter. It's not a direct match. A has to be a full sentence. No, it's just, it has to be in that order. It has to come first. But you can maybe combine A and B into 1 full sentence if it works, right? If it matches what you want to say. So you have some freedom there, but you're going to follow A, B, C, D, or the 1, 2, 3s right in order to write your paragraph. Now, sometimes when we put our A, B, C, Ds out, we have what's called the A analysis sentence, which is telling, what did I just write? What was this about? Sometimes that's in an A, B, C, D. It's already there, we write it, and sometimes it's not. We might have to add a sentence that gives the A. Remember, P's, P-E-A-S, the point, the E, the examples, the evidence, the exposition, right? Explanations. Those were the ABCDs. And then your analysis might be in your ABCDs, might be one of your last points. Check and see. If it's not, make sure you have one. And then your last sentence, usually we have to write the last sentence. Sometimes it's in our brainstorming, but many times it's not. The so what, the S of P's. So what? Why did I write this paragraph in the first place? What is this all about? What do I walk away with? What information is critical for me to know walking away from this? So now that I told you all this, so what does that mean? What happens? What happens next? That's the so what. Okay. So as you're drafting, you may have to come up with your A analysis sentence. You may have to come up with your S so what sentence. If it's not in your ABCDs, we want to make sure that your paragraph is still a full, complete PEAS academic paragraph. Make sense? When you're finished with Roman numeral 2, you move on to Roman numeral 3. And same thing. The words right next to Roman numeral 3 become a claim or a statement, a broad statement that you put at the start, your first sentence. Not your topic sentence. It's like a topic sentence, but it's your claim, your point, right? You make your point, one sentence. Then your next ABCDs should be your E's, your explanations, your evidence, your examples, right? And you put them in order because you already ordered it. You don't have to write anything that you follow your outline. Check for the A. If there's no A, you write in the analysis. Check for the S, so what? If there's no so what, you write in the so what to make a full paragraph and fill that paragraph out. Okay, so remember on a paragraph, the P is one sentence, the E can be 2, 3, sometimes 4 sentences. The A is one sentence usually, and the S is one sentence. So we're getting, this many paragraphs, or this many sentences in the paragraph. Make sense? Let's move on. 2, 3, and 4, it's the same process. It's the same thing. You do the same, follow the outline, write the P, write the E's, write the sentences from the ABCs, same thing. And then the last paragraph is different. That's the conclusion. And we're going to use what we learned in the 781 course on the 8th class. You might want to go back to your notes, go back to the PowerPoint, because there are very specific things we're doing. We're taking the so what's sentences for each paragraph. The Roman numeral 2 that turned into a paragraph, the second paragraph in my essay has a so what. We're going to take that and pull it out and bring it down to the bottom. Because we're going to use the idea, not the exact sentence, but the idea from that sentence in my conclusion. In this next Roman numeral 3, which is the second idea or content paragraph, we're going to take this so what, pull it out, bring it down to the bottom. We're not going to write it exactly. We're going to change it up. We're going to take the ideas out of the inside 3 clumped paragraphs. Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3, Roman numeral 4. Pull out the so what, pull out the so what, pull out the so what, and we're going to put it down and use that to restate our claim, our thesis statement, but with the cool so what's. Right? We're not putting the exact thesis statement in. We're saying a version of the thesis statement with the cool so what's. Because it's not just I'm making a claim, but I'm saying, oh, here's what we found out about it. We're going to say in our conclusion, ideas about how does this apply to me or people, individuals? How does this apply to a community? How does this apply to the world? What does the world need to know? Is there going to be a challenge for the world, right? These are the kinds of things that we put in our conclusion paragraph. Is it hard? Not really. If you've created a really complete, I want to say great outline, but complete outline with lots of great ideas in the right order, it's totally doable. Does it take time and energy? Absolutely, yes. It's going to take time and energy. In fact, this whole process is over a number of hours, which is why you have 10 days to complete the assignment. You want to sit down at a number of times and do each of the steps. And when you draft, I don't recommend drafting the whole thing at once. Draft maybe the introduction and first paragraph, and then put it down and come back at another time and draft, read through the introduction and first full paragraph of content and go, oh, I think I'll change that. And let's go straight on to draft Roman numeral 3. And we draft that paragraph, maybe 4, and put it away again. Maybe come back and do the conclusion last. A lot of writers, most writers who are professionals or have been doing this for a while, they don't try to do it all in one sitting, because guess what happens? We get really tired. We get really bored. We get really frustrated. And then our writing isn't so good. So at this level of writing, when we're writing essays, when you are an essay writer, it's all about pacing yourself and writing something over time. Not at one sitting, but across time, where you're writing pieces and parts, and then you can look at it all together. Remember, this is a draft. It's not a perfect. It's a draft, okay? It's not a perfect paper, perfect essay. It's a draft, and we know it's a draft. We just want to make sure in this class that we see that you've gone through the whole process, you've timed yourself out, and that each of the 5 paragraphs that you create follow introduction, introduction, Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3, Roman numeral 4, and conclusion. which is your point 1 and 2 and 3 in the middle. I know it can be confusing, but it's not. Once you do this more and more, it becomes very easy. And that's why we're actually going through this as an exercise to show what it takes, all of the upfront work that it takes to create a draft. Never ever should a writer just look at it and sit down and write. It's not your best work. Planning, arranging, doing the outline, creating something that allows you to be really ordered and really complete is really the way to go. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out. But we look forward to seeing your draft, your rough draft of your essay.